Surprise, motherfucker.
I wasn't expecting that energy. But okay, I'm here for it.
I've been rewatching Dexter, so that's where it's coming from.
Ah, yes, such a good show. We actually just watched it, I want to say like a couple months ago.
Oh, nice.
We didn't finish it though. We did, I think like, we rewatched like the first 3 seasons, I think, and then we moved on.
That's most people's favorite.
Yeah, that because Mike only really likes those. I kind of like them all, but whatever. I get that the first 3 are the best. I can agree.
Yeah. I think the ending is controversial, but I think most of it leading up to that, like, 1 through 7 is pretty good.
What you mean, like the ending, as in like the new series?
Is there a new series?
Yeah, like the most recent series.
I didn't realize there was a new series.
Oh, like I just mean it was like it was a few years ago, but it was like he when he's in the cabin and his son comes to visit him.
Oh, really?
You haven't seen that?
No.
Okay, you'll have to watch that after you're done with all your series.
Oh, that's right. Dexter New Blood. I remember that.
That's what it is, yeah. I couldn't remember the name, but it was like, it wasn't part of the original.
Right.
If you go on Netflix, it's its own separate thing. But
yeah, right.
But it is like a whole season, so.
Wow.
But yeah.
Fascinating.
Okay, well, yeah, you'll have to watch that. Because a lot of people didn't like it. When they come out with something so far after the clothes of a series,
it's hard.
Like, of course, everybody's going to have their own opinions about it. But I honestly didn't mind it. I would have preferred it being a little bit different, honestly, but whatever. Everybody, again, like, I'm curious to know what you would think after you watch it. But,
yeah, that'd be very interesting.
Yeah. Enough of that guy. Happy anniversary. I wanted to tell you in person.
Hang on, I was chugging water. Oh, thank you.
By in person, I mean over the wavelengths of Discord audio.
3 years. Wow. Been a while.
It has. Honestly, it feels like last year. Like last year. And I don't know why, but time goes by so freaking fast.
It's also my 14-year anniversary.
14 years for your actual
the entire relationship.
Yeah. That is also crazy to me because for some reason, I don't know if it's just because you guys are just so awesome and everything.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but I mean, it feels to me like you've been together longer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that's awesome. 14 years is a good stint. Anyway, so I'm trying to get my brain organized. We have not recorded in a while.
What?
So it just got to get back in the groove, It just takes a minute.
The groove. We got to get out of the groove. We don't want to maintain the status quo.
Oh, true. I agree with that, to be honest.
Maybe a little groovelessness is good for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, throw it up. Not throw it up. Throw it down.
Throw it down. Throw it around.
I was gonna say throw status quo out the window. Like throw it out. But it just all came out different. That's usually how my brain works. So it's perfect that I'm on a podcast because my brain never translates to my mouth exactly what I wanted to say. And that just is perfect.
It all came out and you threw up. I get it.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay, so no high fructose corn syrup. Have you been going along with that trend? Not trend, but like, do you like to pick things with no high fructose corn syrup?
Do you hear that?
Or do you care? Yeah?
That's my Yeti, and it's full to the brim with high fructose corn syrup. I have a jumbo straw. I'm sipping with it.
Oh my gosh. You're gonna be weighted after this.
No, I think honestly probably the biggest intake of like high fructose corn syrup that most people, or at least most high consumers is soda.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I still get a decent amount in other stuff like sauces. In fact, there's a lot of sauces out there that are either just like honey or syrup or something.
Oh, really? I never really considered sauces. I didn't even think to check sauces.
You're usually pretty... I mean, it depends on the sauce. Some are, other kinds of things, but like some of them are like pretty sweet. And I guess barbecue sauce would traditionally be brown sugar, but...
That's true. We did switch our barbecue sauce. That's like pretty much the only sauce we've switched. Do you think ketchup has high fructose corn syrup?
Well, it's basically sweetened tomato paste, but...
I'm going to check, actually.
I don't know what they sweeten it with. Probably.
Okay. I don't even know why we're talking about this. It's really not that big a deal. Oh, okay. It says... Well, okay, so we get the Simply tomato ketchup, which is probably different than the regular Heinz ketchup. We get Heinz Simply.
Yeah.
And so that's the one I was looking at because that's the one we have. It says this simple tomato ketchup is free of high fructose corn syrup. So we're in the clear. So barbecue sauce and ketchup, which is what we mostly use of the sauces. The only other thing I might is like, cause I buy the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah, that one gets you because it's like, oh, it's just honey mustard, but it's not. It's like honey mustard's very unhealthy cousin.
Yeah, exactly. But it tastes way better than honey mustard. Oh, it says as of December 2023, Chick-fil-A no longer uses high fructose corn syrup in its products.
Wow, they got on the trend quick.
Yeah.
Everybody was just waiting. They were like, hang on. We can't cut it out until Chick-fil-A cuts it out.
Yeah. So far, I've been doing pretty good. I'm like, when I check for things. The only thing, obviously, like you said, is the occasional soda. If I do get a soda, because every now and then I like to have a little treat like that, because I'm not a big soda person. Like, honestly, I would rather just not drink it. But every now and then, it's like the occasion calls for it. And Pepsi has has a real sugar, like Pepsi. But I'm more of a Coke girl, right? So herein lies the problem. Coke does not sell a real sugar soda. Like, they do in other countries for some reason, but just not.
Yeah, but you can buy them here. Like, you can get a quote unquote Mexican Coke at the grocery store.
Yeah, but it's not like you can get, like the glass jars or whatever. Like, you can't buy them in multiples, though. I mean, you can, but it's expensive. It's like...
Well, you got to pay for your privilege.
Well, I know. That's the problem. Is like... when Coke products, I mean, like, Pepsi products are going on sale, or, like, even Coke products are going on sale, and you're like, oh, yes. But then you're like, oh, no, the high fructose corn syrup. And you're like, well, I guess we better go with the Pepsi, because the Pepsi has the real sugar Pepsi. I don't know. I need Coke to actually sell, like, regular cans of... Because I like to get, like, the 12-ounce cans and just put them in the cabinet and, like, pull one out, Like, I like to have it on standby.
Well, if it's every now and then, why not go for the expensive treat? See, Coke is trying to break you of the bad habit. They're the good guys.
You're right. I guess I could, but it just seems so, like, mental. The math doesn't add for me.
The math doesn't math?
The math doesn't math, yeah. The size versus the price. But speaking of price, like, I went to the store this week for groceries. And granted, I brought Mike with me. And when that happens, we tend to buy a little bit more than normal. Or, like, a little bit different types of things that I normally wouldn't buy. But we bought, like for example, we got steak, which, he wanted to grill and have for dinner. We bought 2 meals of steaks. So, like, so that kind of added to the price. Which normally I would just get chicken because, like, I'm like, whatever. I like chicken and ground beef and, like, easy to make stuff. Because I personally, this is just a side tangent, as we like tangents, but, like, I hate cooking meat. I don't know if it's just you, but you're probably not because you're a cook. You like to cook stuff. You like to do stuff like that. I'm fine with, like, vegetables and pastas and rice and, like, whatever.
Something quick.
Meat, I don't know. Like, I hate it. I hate everything about it. I hate the way that you have to touch it, that it's all gross before you start. I hate that it smells so bad as you're cooking it. I hate how much it stinks up the entire house. I hate how it sprays everywhere.
What are you doing with your meat?
I hate how it leaves like the worst amount of like cleanup in the pans and stuff, and like anything you cook with it. I hate that. Okay. There's just always like the remnants after you cook. Yeah, like, you know, like when you cook chicken, for example. And chicken is probably my preferred meat if I had to cook something. However, when you cook it,
gizzard.
Don't you ever get like that white stuff that like comes out of it? It's like this.
Well, I mean, there's like fat stuff. You can cut off the outside. Like white, that's like
gooey stuff that just like comes out of the chicken and like fall. I don't think it's fat though, because it's like slimy and thick and like goopy. You know, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain.
I'm sitting over here like so confused. You're saying the cooking meat smells bad? I feel like that's the best smell. Everyone's slimy, like, barbecue. Yeah, let's go.
Yes. I personally don't like it. I don't like, especially like before it's beyond. There's like a point during the cooking process where it switches over to becoming more fragrant in a way that you're like, okay, yeah, that's starting to smell good. But before that, it smells bad. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm getting the vibe that that's just me. But it's just like, and then also when you cook meat, and I personally am having this problem too because I don't have a vent in my house.
It's so annoying.
Like I don't have a hood.
Oh, you were cooking steak too. That's tough because it always gets like smoky.
That. So we have to either open the doors, which we can't really do because, it is annoying. And steak, it gets smoky. It gets, it just smells.
You're going to become a vegan just by,
and so like, I just don't like
accident, I guess, meat. Question mark?
I don't even really like eating meat. I'll be honest, like if something happened in the world where there was no meat available anymore, I feel like I would be fine. Like I would probably be okay. I wouldn't miss it, I don't think. I mean, maybe here and there things, because I do eat meat and I do like meat on certain occasions, whatever. But predominantly, I could do without.
Yeah, I mean, like pretty much your whole description there felt like it was somebody describing deep frying stuff. How it's like, it leaves the smell in the house, and like there's this big mess you got to clean up, and
yes, it is. It feels that way. Yeah, it does feel that way, like deep frying. Except it's not. It's just like, don't you ever cook steak or meat on the it's usually red meat that does this, but when you're cooking in a pan and you've got, like,
there's
the
a little spatter, sure,
and you're cooking,
that's why you got a glass cooktop, so you can swipe it down
all over the place.
Maybe you need to turn down your thing. I feel like,
yeah, I know, but it's it gets everywhere, and then I'm like, oh well, too bad I took a No, it's not too hot. It's not. I promise. Like, it's like I got a spatter cover, which does help now because we used to not have it. But it's a spatter cover. It's like this metal. It looks kind of like a screen. It's metal.
Oh.
And so it allows the heat and the steam and stuff to escape, but it prevents like a lot of the spatter, which does help. However, it's still just one more thing to clean. I don't know.
You ever get like deep pans? Like, you know, the saucepans that are like, they're almost like short pots.
Yeah.
But they're for like, you know, cooking and sauteing and stuff. Like, you know, especially if you're going to be making pasta or something. So it's not like spilling out of the side of the pan. Might help.
Yeah, that's true. Well, lately we've just been searing it in the cast iron pan and then sticking it in the oven to cook the rest of the way, just so to eliminate a lot of that exposure to the everything, but I don't know. It's just a lot. The only good thing about meat is it does cook pretty fast. So,
yeah.
I mean, at least steak. I wouldn't say chicken. Chicken takes a while, but that's my beef. Beef with beef.
Yeah, you really got to make sure it's cooked through. How do you order your steak?
I like medium well.
Interesting.
Or medium. Like I could go medium, but like whenever I order medium in a restaurant, it's always more rare than I like. So I say medium well because I feel like the chances of it being the right temperature for me is more medium well. But I do like it a little bit more red than medium well. But just not so... I don't like between rare and medium. Like, that's gross.
Yeah. Would you ever do like a beef carpaccio or a beef tartare kind of thing?
I have before. And, I mean, I don't get that, to be honest. Like, I honestly don't think it's more flavorful. But people do. I don't know. I feel like it's just like, I don't know, like flavorless.
I feel like the thing with a lot of meats that you eat, well, I was going to say out, but I mean, obviously people do this too, depending on whose house you're at. But restaurants will do it a lot and just like really, really season the meat while they're cooking it and stuff. So you get like, I feel like most of the flavor is coming from the seasoning at a lot of restaurants and stuff. Like they're, not really letting the taste of the meat shine through, which I guess some people don't really care for. They just want a vehicle for flavor bomb. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't like raw meat. I don't like, no, I prefer not to have raw meat. I'd actually prefer not to have raw fish too, because, like I was telling Mike, I kind of wish I liked fish. I don't like seafood at all.
Well, it's all meat, right?
Well, exactly. No, I feel like in my brain, I feel like I would prefer to eat fish over other meats if I enjoyed the flavor of it. And it sounds weird, but what I mean by that is like, I think I like the texture and consistency of fish. I just don't like the taste of it. And I also like the idea of like ways to cook fish and how like the benefits of fish and things like that. Like
you like fish as a concept.
I like fish as a concept. Yeah.
You like everything about fish except the flavor.
Exactly. Yeah, unfortunately. And like I've tried, but I will say that I can eat fresh water fish like salmon.
Yeah, I was about to say like a salmon sushi roll probably wouldn't hit you too hard.
No, yeah. I do like salmon, and I like I'm trying to think of another freshwater fish. I mean, I would say walleye, but I don't really eat walleye regularly because we live in Florida, not
bass.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember if I'm sure I've eaten a bass at some point. I've definitely eaten sea bass, but... Oh,
okay. Well, yeah. There's more seafood available here than other freshwater fish, so I don't eat it very often. But I feel... I just, in my core, I just feel like I could get on board with freshwater fish. Why are we talking about food? How did this happen?
You became self-aware for a moment. Are we going to start the podcast or?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. If we had a Patreon, this could be like a free Patreon session, but we don't even have that. So
it'll have to be a free therapy session instead.
Anyway, I was just saying groceries are expensive nowadays.
Heck yeah. We got a new service that we're trying out. It was pretty cheap. Let me look up how much it actually costs. I believe it was like
Don't tell me it's Factor. Is it Factor?
Yeah, I think it was like $200. But we got a huge box of meat and veggies. It's 4 Roots.
Oh.
I think. 4 Roots. Yeah. This is it. Yeah. And you can get we got basically, there's it was a little less than that. It was like $80 a box, the size we got. I think it was like a medium. And then you pick the various things. You pick produce, fruit, meat. I think they might have bread. I don't know. Yeah, and then they just deliver you a big box, or you can go pick it up. A big box of that stuff, and it was pretty cool. Like it was all like the meat was already pre-frozen, and it was like because it's already a big enough box. It's like, well, this is gonna go in my freezer.
Is this like local farms and stuff that you? Yeah. Actually, I was talking to a friend about that like a year ago or something like that. And she was like, yeah, you guys should do it and everything. And then I was like, yeah, we should. And then I never did.
Well, so far so good. The produce box we got was like really good. It had like a bunch of stuff. It's all like, because you don't really pick what you get. They just send you I guess whatever's in season, like, because it's local farms and stuff. Like sometimes they just don't have stuff in season. Like, obviously big farms will supply grocery stores with a lot of stuff year round, but for like local farms, they can't really grow something that's out of season like squash in the winter. Well, I mean, there's winter squash, but yeah. And then so it's kind of cool that you get like whatever's in season, and then it's like really fresh and good stuff. And they like everything in there was really good. Like none of it felt like it was close to expiring or anything like that. In fact, I like what they did with the bananas. We got them green. Like they were very. Which way is it? Is it ripe or unripe? Ripe is too far, right?
Yeah.
So they were unripe. Yeah, very unripe. And it's been about 24 hours, and they're already like just the edges are green, so they're turning yellow. Like right at the time when I'd actually eat them. So perfect.
Oh yeah, that is perfect.
Yeah, they seem to have timed that well, and I don't know. It's really cool.
Yeah. So let me ask you. Maybe you'll tell me if the Four Roots place is different. But I remember 2 reasons why we didn't end up doing it. And like at the time. And one of them was that, so basically Mike can be pretty picky as far as like vegetables and fruit. Mm-hmm. Obviously he'll eat meat, and since you can't pick what you get, you kind of get whatever. And a lot of times it's like whatever's in season. And a lot of those times it's like basically vegetables that he wouldn't eat. And then I'd end up with a lot of it. And that was part of the second thing was that there was like a certain amount you had to get in order to buy.
Yeah.
And it was always too much for what like we would be able to eat within the time that it would go bad. And I remember thinking like I could get it, but then it like he would eat a lot of the meat, but I would eat most of the fruits and vegetables, but like we each wouldn't eat enough of each for it to make it worth it, I guess.
Yeah.
So that was part of but it was a really cool idea, and I haven't looked into it in a while because it's been a while, but
yeah, it definitely seems like I'll be able to we could between us eat all the produce that they gave us. But yeah, it is random as far as I know, just like whatever's in season. They have like different size boxes, but you only can pick the size. You can't pick like, no, I want 4 bananas, I want 3 apples.
Yeah.
So.
But so like for the 2 of you though, was it a pretty decent? Was it a good amount, I guess? Like,
yeah,
did you feel like
it's only been like 24 hours, so I mean, we haven't actually like tested going through it, but as far as like what we would normally get for groceries, it's like a really good like amount for like a little over a week's groceries. And then the meat there was a lot of meat. I don't think we can eat all that. Even like it probably not even in 2 weeks. But the nice thing is it's like comes already pre-frozen, so I just chuck what I don't want to eat right now in the freezer, and then like I'll be like, all right, for this week we'll eat chicken and beef, and I'll just pull that into the fridge. So yeah,
I see.
Pretty cool. But yeah, if you got picky eaters, I guess that wouldn't really work.
I know it's kind of like limiting sometimes, but it's funny because I tried a new way to eat asparagus when we got the steak in our house.
From the side?
No, just a different cooking, whatever.
Okay.
And it was so bad. And I was like, no, I have to roast it or else it's gross.
Yeah, I will say that they sent us, I believe it was celery, but it looked kind of weird. Like it had, I guess we ended up figuring out. I forget what it was. I think it was like some kind of radish sprout or something, but it was just the one thing in there that I was like, what is this? And I ended up taking a bite of one of the leaves, and I probably should have washed it first, because I took it right out of the bag and was like, okay, I'll take a bite of this and see what it is. And I took a bite of the leaf, and it tasted pretty normal. But then, like, afterwards, my mouth had this the weirdest taste that just, like, lingered forever. And I was like, did I just, like, eat some pesticides? What's going on? Yeah, it was very uncomfortable. Apparently, you're not supposed to eat that part. The leaves you just pick off or something.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm sure they're not toxic, but I'll let you know if I die.
Yeah, I would probably look up a recipe or something.
Oh, yeah. They also sent, like, some recipes for what they sent, which is kind of cool.
Okay. Well, that is cool. Because it helps you, like, know what to cook. Because especially if you're not used to cooking certain, like you are, certain vegetables and certain things. But it's a good way to try new things. So that's true.
Are you going to tell me?
What?
I mean, I don't know if we're saving it for next episode.
Saving what?
Costa Rica?
Oh, yeah, duh. Of course I'm going to tell you that.
I love you, that's why I say cheerio, not goodbye. Remember our old tune, be back soon.
Love you.
Love you too. Have a good week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I love you. Bye-bye.